Sits in a jail cell. He is back in Idaho, accused of killing young Michael Vaughan.
You're pure evil. You have no heart. You have no soul.
Wondra is accused of murdering her then 5-year-old son in 2021. Would you think you'll ever get the answer as to why?
No, because there is no answer to why. Why would somebody hurt an innocent little boy? What answer could you give? What answer could you possibly give? How scared was he? Did he ask for me? Did he ask for Tyler?
Stacey Wondra has been charged with first-degree murder and second-degree kidnapping and destruction of evidence.
Michael Monkey Vaughan went missing from his Fruitland neighborhood on July 27, 2021.
This is a criminal investigation.
Now, more than 4 years later, in newly unsealed court documents, Fruitland police named 4 people they believed are involved in Michael's murder. Those 4 names are ones we've heard before.
This is Sarah Wondra. This is Sarah's husband, Stacey Wondra. This is Brandon Shurtliff, Adrian Lucien.
As for what these 4 people have in common, they were all staying at the Wondras' home when Michael disappeared in 2021. That's just half a mile from Michael's home where he was last seen. In the PCA, police pointed to video evidence they say showing Shurtliff walking around the neighborhood. They say Shurtliff helped move Michael's body in a duffel bag temporarily to his mom's home in Kuna before standing guard as they buried him in the Wondras' Fruitland backyard. Stacey Wondra told police the 4 hoped to sell Michael for $10,000 each. He says the idea came from Adrian Lucien. Idaho News 6 is now learning Lucien was arrested and released in Indiana in October for a traffic-related misdemeanor. Sarah Wondra is currently serving time in the Idaho State Prison System for unrelated charges. She's eligible for parole in early 2026.
Karen, is there any connection between the Vaughan family and the home where police had been searching?
No, we've heard this more than once from the family representatives and from the police department that there is no connection between the Vaughan family and the home where this search took place.
As you know, from the time Michael went missing, this has been an all-hands-on-deck investigation, and it remains very active and an ongoing investigation. You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop. During the course of this investigation to date, we received credible information that the remains of Michael Vaughan could be found in the backyard at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland. As a result, the Fruitland Police Department obtained a search warrant for the residence along with the front and backyards. That search warrant was served on November 11th. It was a Friday. We served that late in the evening. Upon entry, officers encountered Sarah Wondra, one of the known occupants of the home, and Sarah was subsequently arrested based on probable cause that she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report that death to law enforcement. The following day, the Fruitland Police Department, joined by the Idaho State Police, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the Fruitland Public Works Department, began a very methodical excavation of the backyard of the Wondras' home. During that excavation process, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Mountain States detection dogs deployed multiple certified human remains detection dogs on the property, all of them alerting to the presence of human remains. Ground penetrating radar was also used and deployed, detecting anomalies in the backyard. We completed the excavation of the entire backyard and removed over 250 yards of dirt. Prior to backfilling the yard, the dirt was meticulously sifted for any potential human remains. We did not find Michael's remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughan were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased, and that his remains were buried and later moved from the property. As of today, the whereabouts of his remains are unknown. However, the investigation is active, fluid, and ongoing. Once the excavation was complete, we conducted a thorough search of the Wondras' residence. The search was productive, and additional investigative evidence was recovered and is currently being processed.
An hour's worth of body camera footage showing Stacey Wondra FaceTiming with detectives and directing to where Monkey's body was buried in his backyard.
It's like right under that mound area. It's right under the mound. About where at compared to the trees?
A little like right to the right of the trees area. It should be, it should be a garbage bag.
Okay, what color is the garbage bag?
It would either be white or black. We only had two colors.
Is the duct tape still going to be over his mouth?
It should be.
Okay.
I didn't watch take them off.
Okay.
So you should have everything intact as it was.
He claims he watched the burial happen.
Okay. How far down is Michael?
I don't know how far she actually dug.
And the she he's referring to, that's his wife Sarah, another suspect in the case. Stacey says Adrian, a third suspect, was also there for the burial.
Out of 300 homes, police say canines tracked Michael's scent to the home where Stacey, his wife Sarah, and their two roommates Brandon Shurtliff and Adrian Lucien lived.
As Joe mentioned, a newly released probable cause affidavit filed in June lays out the interviews following Michael's disappearance. Again, during these initial searches, police say canines tracked Michael's scent to the fence line of the home where Stacey Wondra, his wife Sarah, and their two roommates, Brandon Shurtliff and Adrian Lucien, lived. All four of those individuals have been named people of interest in Michael's disappearance. One of Michael's neighbors told police they saw Michael riding a bike outside of the Wondra's home the day that he disappeared. Another neighbor said they saw that same tricycle at the Wondra's home during a garage sale months before Michael disappeared. The Wondras initially denied any involvement, but then in November of 2022, Stacey asked to meet with investigators. The PCA states Stacey claims he was home the night Michael was allegedly abducted and saw Sarah carrying Michael into the house. Stacey allegedly told police it was Adrian's idea to take a child to sell for money, and they would get a $10,000 cut. Stacey claims Sarah told everyone to, quote, follow her lead. Stacey told investigators they took him to Brandon's mother's home in Kuna that night, where they left Michael overnight. Stacey claims the other three returned to Brandon's mom's house the next day and brought Michael back to the Wanderer's home in Fruitland. Stacey told police Michael was not alive, and Sarah and Adrian buried him in the Wanderer's backyard. 2 days after Stacey's interview with police, they executed a search warrant and excavated the Wanderer's backyard. The affidavit says cadaver dogs alerted to the same area where Stacey told detectives Michael's body was buried, but to this day, Michael has not been found.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Excuse me as I'm choking on a piece of bread. My daughter made me some of the most amazing jalapeno cheddar sourdough loaf last night. And I was eating a piece. Today is July 26th. 26th. It is not July 26th, you guys. It is July 16th. 2026. Welcome in, everybody. I've got Brandi Neal Vaughan with us today. You are muted, Brandi, if you're there. If she's not, she will be with us shortly. Buggy's home for summer. So we are going to review. I know it's the best bread ever, right? She makes the best homemade sourdough bread ever. I came home with a loaf of jalapeno cheddar and a loaf of regular. Oh, so good. Me and my husband made some grilled cheese sandwiches with the jalapeno cheddar last night. I'm telling you guys, if you ain't done that yet, it's a must. But me and Brandi are going to review the rest of Brandon Shurtliff's interview that he did with JLR Investigates. And yeah, that's what's on the agenda. We said we were going to come back today and do that. And then me and Brandi are going to be joining Mandy from Spirit Seekers YouTube channel soon. We have not set a date. My husband's been working very late like this week, and I have not cleared with him what our plans are for this weekend. But if we're going to be home and not gone tomorrow night, I believe that's when Mandy said that she was available, which would be sometime tomorrow evening on July 17th. So just keep a lookout for that. Joy in the house. Kimberly Wright is in the house. Hello, good to see you. Spread the love. Ink is in the house. Thank you guys all so much for coming in. Pretty Assessor Joy. We've got Mama here. She's in chat. I know she will be. It is yummy. Yummy. Mick Sporen is here. Thank you all for coming back to go over this. I know that when Brandi and I did this last time, as we're reviewing his interview, we stopped several times. You know, Brandi can put a lot of insight into certain things. And that's one of the reasons why Brandi and I and Brandi chose to go over the conversation that she had with Stacey Wondra here at Missing PNW on her channel, which Brandi, if you want, you can always drop that link in chat too, if you'd like. Please go over to Brandi Vaughan's channel. It's Brandi Neal Vaughan. Subscribe, watch her videos, comment on her videos, share her videos. We're trying to get her out there in the algorithm as she is new to going live. She is here. She is just probably getting buggy situated. And Brandi says, hey, everybody, could you please hit that like button so we can get these out into the algorithm? I would greatly appreciate it. We also want to make sure Brandon sees this. Yep. Because we know Brandon's watching. Deedle's in the house. Thank you so much for coming. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that notification bell. Become a member. Do all of the things. Join us on Michael Vaughan's Facebook group. I'm going to add some links to chat real quick. Let's just see. Add in some links. Here is Michael's Facebook group. Any and all creators can use any information that I use at any time, and this Facebook group is where I have put the majority of the information that I have on Michael Vaughan's case in. Everything usually gets posted up in there. If you would like to become a Missing PNW member, there is that link. My lips aren't working. My Michael Vaughan playlist. This is all of the lives that I have done on Michael Vaughan, the suspects. I do nothing but the facts. Please go over some of those lives. Learn about Michael's case if you are new to the case. And if you are new to the case and you're here, thank you so much for coming in. Cinderella is in the house. We got Show Poodles here. Tara is back. McSporen is back. Thank you guys all so much. This is Stacey Wondra's preliminary hearing in its entirety. And there is no commentary. You can watch all of the preliminary hearing like you were sitting in a courtroom. And if you're a creator and you want to use it to go over it on your channel, please do so. All right. Who else do we have here? Thank you guys so much for coming, supporting Brandi and I, and supporting Michael, the Vaughan family. I appreciate you, and I know the Vaughan family does as well. Under Your Scars is here. Happy Cappy is here. There you are. You got to unmute though, doll.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, babe.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I was getting Buggy situated. I decided to give her one of her birthday presents early because I couldn't wait.
Oh,
I
told everybody you were probably getting her situated. I knew.
Yeah. Tyler's
When's her
birthday?
birthday?
August 24th.
Yeah, I need to get on the ball. You're going to have to send me a list of some stuff that she wants for her birthday so I can get some stuff
She
sent out.
has. What doesn't the girl have?
Right? Well, if she needs, like, I'm a grandma, so, like, if she needs anything, you and I can talk about this or whatever.
Yes,
like,
we'll
so
talk
if she
about it.
needs, like, socks, underwear, clothes, whatever, I know she's going to be starting school, so we can talk about it. And
school uniforms. That'll be helpful.
There you go. So Ink says, Brandon, come on. You said you would get back with Sam. So today is better than not. So bring your
butt in here and tell Brandi where Michael is, you coward POS.
Right? He'll never come up on my channel again. But if you want, and you're here and you're listening, come on up. Do you want to have a conversation with Brandi Vaughan? I'm sure she would be glad to talk to you.
Absolutely.
And we can be nice and civil. Brandon, if we can be nice and civil with Stacey, I know for a fact we can be nice to you and civil. So
I won't yell. The only reason I raised my voice to Stacey was because he started yelling at me.
I found y'all. I know. And then I forgot to put the thumbnail up on my live. I'm like, oh, wait, I got to go back. Oh, so many new faces. I'm loving this. And Shadows is here. Thank you so much for coming in. Anna is back, Under Your Scars. And Lynn is here. Hi, Sissy. We love you guys so much for being here. Really do. Michael's army is just getting so strong, and rainbows for the bugs. Thank you guys.
I would really actually, since Sissy is here and everyone is so wonderful with prayers, my brother-in-law, the whole family, they lost someone that was very near and dear to their hearts due to a motorcycle accident the other day. And they also, their son passed a few years back. And so it's just been really hard for them. And all my little nephews, oh my gosh, they're just absolutely heartbroken. So if you could all send them some love and some prayers and let them know that we're here and it's going to be okay.
I am so sorry, Lynn. I love you.
I love you, Sissy. And I love the boys. And you don't have to punch hubby. You don't have to punch brother. Okay. You can give him a hug for me this time. So, sorry. And
no. Monkey's Army is good at giving out those prayers, and we appreciate it every time. Thank you guys so much.
Kim in Colorado has a question. Her question is there any videos is there any video of these animals at any other park in the area that day? I'm not sure where the cameras are in the Payette Park, but we do know that there is there would be video of him at the pharmacy.
And he took a picture of himself outside that pharmacy.
Right.
And the A&W in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's probably CCTV cameras in that area. I mean, there's a lot of little intersections around there.
Oh, yeah. Right. That's
But he
like,
was at a skate park later on that day. Is there footage of any? Don't know.
don't know. So, yeah,
So
so.
I was going to kind
It
of
is
give
hot. I was gonna
you.
sit outside, but oh, so I hope my air conditioner is not too loud. It's not running at the
No,
moment. You can tell because I'm
I
starting to sweat.
can't even hear it actually.
Okay.
Darlene's came back.
Hi, Darlene. Joy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joy.
Absolutely,
Oh,
Cam. I will try and answer all the questions I can, the best of my knowledge, or if I'm able.
and I did share that Michael Vaughan Facebook group, and I do allow posts in there. I do review them before I allow them, but I love questions. I love discussing Michael's case too. So you can ask questions here. You can go over there and look at information and ask questions there too. I love answering questions in any of the cases that I work on. I would rather answer questions than to have you think that something's true and then talk about it and it turn into like a rumor or something like that. So,
And you're right, under your scars, Ellie doesn't tell all. There is a lot that I don't know, and I'm glad.
yeah, I actually, when you and I talked about the privileged information, I mean, you reiterated back to me immediately that they keep a lot from you guys.
Oh yeah. And I'm thankful that they do. I mean, I'm glad that, we're not completely in the dark, because
Mhm.
they would never hear the end of it. But, they have kept us involved in Michael's case, I believe, as much as they possibly could without jeopardizing his case and without crossing that line.
Right, right. And that's a good thing. It really is a good thing. They got to keep things close to the vest.
Exactly. And these new filings that are coming out.
I was going to ask you to talk about that. Like,
Yeah, I heard you say that. Yeah. Go over a little bit of it. I can see why they would be asking for any other professionals that dealt with their mental health. I would especially, they're going to want to see, I would assume that they would want to see how Stacey was treated after his attempt, and we know that Sarah was found incompetent, right? Incompetent is the right word.
right.
She was deemed incompetent and was sent to the state mental facility to get competent. So they,
Pretty much to get her medicine regulated.
yeah, got her medicine regulated and got her diabetes under control, and got her ready to stand in defense of herself, because there is no insanity plea in Idaho. So they will.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see because if the defense gets it, maybe we will also be able to see it, because I would really like to see what doctors may have said about either of their mental disabilities or mental state of mind or any of that, because we've heard that Sarah Wondra was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Yes.
I've never seen documentation of it, so I've never really talked about it, but I'm assuming she's only paranoid and got schizophrenic because, of the
She had a mental breakdown.
unimaginable horror that she saw the day that Michael was abducted.
Right.
Sorry to interrupt you, but then, we
No, you're
have
fine.
the other thing that was filed. I'm having a brain fart. The one about the judge. Do you know whether or not the judge lives in your neighborhood?
Oh no, he doesn't.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know if he lives in Fruitland.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So we'll be able to find out, you know.
Well, and I mean, I have seen in a case along these past 5 years. I can't remember which case it was. It didn't get a lot of attention, but there was a judge that was involved, I guess, in the search, and that they were trying to get it. The judge removed himself, so there was no conflict. But I do know that it was tried to be used before. So that's my assumption. I don't know. Anything and anything, grasping at straws. I saw somebody comment that earlier, which is true. And, you know, Mike Duke, he did say, you know, there's going to be things that they're probably going to file that's going to piss you off. I think he downplayed it so much.
Oh, God. Yeah, because you were not just a tiny, tiny bit pissed off. You were very pissed off when you heard that they are wanting to request all emails sent in to the Michael Vaughan tip line. Find Michael at fruitland.org. And I couldn't even read your comments, girl.
I know, I'm sorry.
I was going to get in trouble. No.
I need to remember to use.
You are allowed to have those feelings for sure.
Hi, Cher. I try not to do it, especially if I'm in somebody else's live. I try to keep it respectful and not use F's and stuff. But sometimes they just have to be said. Hair curlers and crime.
Good to see you, love. You guys
Hi,
could
Cher.
send out some prayers to hair curlers in crime. Just going through some stuff here recently. I don't air out people's, stuff they're going through, but my prayers have been with you, love, and I appreciate you so much for being here.
Thank you, Ink. Over there.
So, talk about why you were so
others.
mad about that, because I kind of went over it a little bit. We know that a certain YouTube creator has sent in many emails.
Well, according to her.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming a lot of them, I know, back in the day when I came to Twitter, when I came from Twitter to here, some of those people and their actions and what they did, they, publicly said what they did. And then, of course, a lot of the messages that were sent to me after the fact. And then, later down the road, as more information came out, never an apology, but
yeah,
whatever, I get it. So it pisses me off, because I don't know if when you put those tips in, you still cared about Michael. I don't know if I actually believe that you ever did. I want to believe that you did. But right now, no. I think it's all about you. It is. It is really all about you and your desperation so badly to have all the attention on you. It's really gross.
And to trigger you, to piss you off. And my thing is, why? Why does this attorney seem so interested in what this particular creator has to say, or her information, or whatever? And it's out of two things. Either this guy don't know how to do his job, or It's because it's the only thing they got, because they have nothing. They do not know how to defend him because he has confessed to seeing it all.
Right.
You know? And maybe, just maybe, it's for other reasons than to, find this certain creator's tips given, that I am sure she has tried to find other suspects or whatnot in the case. But why is this attorney working with her at all? Like, why? And
Per
why?
Stacey's request.
True.
That's why.
Because
he can request her, like, I have you.
Yeah.
I have a lot of creators that I have asked to work with law enforcement. And they have. Then the ones that, do it for the right reasons. And there's creators that are, people don't even, would have no idea.
It's just at some point there's got to be like, okay, let's take a time out here, because you're inserting yourself into an investigation and you're hindering the investigation or the case or whatever you want to call it. But again, I will just say this again, because I am trying to play devil's advocate here. Maybe there's another reason that they want these emails.
Yeah.
I know how you feel about it. I wouldn't doubt it for a minute if that's what had, one of the reasons why. But, we'll find out.
The first thing that popped into my head was that hunting page that he was on, trying to take someone hunting.
As a guy. The Facebook hunting page, we've actually talked about that before, that your sister-in-law saw Stacey Wondra in, and he was using a profile picture of Michael Joseph Vaughan. Something that she saw in a way made her think, okay, I need to turn this over to law enforcement. She did, and they looked into it. So.
Yeah. And they fully investigated that. She did that. I didn't ask about it.
They should apply to her too, Inc. Yes. Sorry.
Huh?
Oh, Inc. was like, and the law should what did she say? So criminal charges should apply to her too, correct? Yes.
Well, civil. Right. Share every dog hit in their yard. And okay, out of everywhere, the dogs hit there. All of their stories. There's just so many coincidences. Come on. Sarah went religious right after. Okay, no, Sarah has always been religious. Let's make sure we put that out there. We don't want any information about that. But she wasn't standing out on corners of the highways, she wasn't buying books and boxes of Bibles beforehand. And at Brandon's mother's house too.
Yeah, praying outside, talking to this guy, laying on the ground outside of the garage, like doing snow angels and talking to God. Yeah, she was not doing those kinds of things. Writing Bible scriptures on her arms, on her shirt, becoming very paranoid.
Self-mutilation.
Yep. She even admits to self-mutilation. She's got marks in between her fingers where she's like picking and doing certain things. They find Vicodin, so here she is, self-medicating and things too.
Yeah.
you know? And Hair Curlers and Crime, to answer your question, Brandi's sister-in-law
Yeah.
found Stacey
Tyler's.
Wondra in a hunting group on Facebook and turned whatever information it was that she saw that she thought was suspicious and turned it over to law enforcement, and they looked into it.
Yep. She was on substances as well, I believe. Hair Curlers and Crime. I don't know that for a fact. But we do at least know she was taking narcotics prescribed by a doctor.
Right. Antidepressant medicine, from what I know, the Vicodin that they found. I mean, and then you've got Adrian
Insulin.
Lucian, who's associated with meth.
We know
Math.
she was taking insulin with
For her diabetes. And, Brandi's upset about that because Stacey Wondra tells inmates that they use her insulin on Michael, which can do a few things. It could put Michael to sleep. It could put him in a coma. It can ultimately kill Michael. And, this is on the word of Stacey Wondra. Did he or did they actually do that or not? If so, is this why Michael actually passed and not make it to CUNA, or did he actually suffocate? Like, these are all the kinds of questions that you guys have to, that you guys are constantly what ifing. So that's like difficult and hard to deal with. I know, because you guys just want to know what happened and want the truth.
Have you known her for a long time, Kimberly? And welcome in. Thank you for being here.
Kimberly right here is Sarah Wondra's prison mom. She comes in all the time.
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for being here.
Yep. She follows the case and has, been trying to figure out for herself,
I didn't know
the lies. Basically the lies, and try to figure it out, and comes here to get the facts.
Oh. Tammy, excuse me, I'll be back, okay?
Okay, honey. Yeah. Changing time, dates, locations, etc., and her ridiculous accusations about the family is disgusting. It is. Everything you've said in here is so spot on ink. Confession, dogs hitting. What more do you need? They need to return Michael home to his mom and dad and his family, where he belongs. And, and then when it comes back to the certain creator, it's just like, what's the motive here? What's the agenda? Why continuously attack the parents when law enforcement has says that they've had nothing to do with this? The frustration is real and it's raw, and just like Brandi's reaction now, like, this is the raw Brandi and this is what she wants everybody to see, and they deal with this kind of crap every single day. I mean, me personally, just being a part of Brandi's life and speaking with her, there's always something, you guys. Even when there's not court, even when she's not dealing with being attacked by a creator, or being attacked by Brandon Shurtliff, or having to come up with Monkey Mondays, or sitting in the courtroom, or new court documents coming in, there's days they don't even want to get out of bed. And Tyler still has to get up out of bed and has to go to work. And Brandi still has to get up and take care of Buggy and everything else. And then there's the good days where they can try to live their life the best day, the best way that they possibly can. And then you have the emotions of all three children and Papa that lives there in the house with them, all trying to, live their best lives through the trauma. So it's very difficult. Guess maybe at some point when she's held accountable for her actions, maybe she can ask herself that, why was such a devious, nasty person to the family that lost their son, brother, grandson, cousin? Exactly. Nephew. I don't know that you did upset her. I don't know. Let me go back. And yes, Brandi, I have spoke, so please. And I have given them all the information I possibly can give them about Sarah that I know about. I think ink marks in the ink marks in between her fingers, she's always done that. In the Bible scripture, she's always done that on her hands, not her arms and stuff, but with her hands since I've known her anyway. And then you have Sarah's ex-husband from down in Texas who says that she wasn't religious at all when he was with her. But then you have Sarah herself talk about how she would read scripture as a teenage girl sitting in her room to escape from life whenever she was unhappy. Okay, no problem. She is just getting Buggy a snack real quick. Yes, thank you, Kimberly. It makes me so angry to hear Brandi get so upset. I'm in tears now. I wish I could hug Brandi. It is. It's disturbing. And she gets upset when certain things happen, something triggers a memory or something else, but she wants to share things. I check on her regularly to make sure that she's okay, or make sure she wants to do a live or wants to do any of those things. Constantly checking on her. So Sam, please let Brandon know I did not mean, or Brandi know that I did not mean to upset her. I am not at all for Sarah. I don't think that you were the one that upset her. I think it was something we were talking about, hon. I'm quite opposite now. That's why I'm still listening to your channel.
Thank you, Kimberly. Sorry, Sammy. Oh, thanks, Bugs. Oh.
But yeah, sorry you got something stuck in your head there, hun. I mean, I know it's awful to do.
It's the steam cleaner and somebody had made a comment that Michael may have soiled himself way back when.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a fucking shitty dream. Sorry.
Yeah, you said you didn't sleep late last night because whenever court and all this kind of stuff is happening and documents are coming in and stuff, you don't sleep well and you have nightmares.
And they've gotten really bad. So
I'm sorry.
The devil quoted scripture to Jesus. It's big.
All right. Well, are you ready to jump into the video?
Is this too? Can anybody hear my air conditioner? Is it too loud?
Nope. Can't hear it at all.
Okay.
Cannot hear it at all. So we're going to jump into this, you guys. What is that?
Buggy made me a picture.
Oh,
almost crying. I try not to let her see me cry. Kind of hard because this face doesn't hide.
Right? Not when you're upset, not when you're,
No.
yeah, I get it. I totally do. And, you know, even just with the little words that you said, we understand completely what you were thinking about. I mean, and that definitely.
Is that why they moved him to the floor?
Oh, goodness. I'm so sorry, honey, because I know it's got to be difficult to what if and not know and all those things. And then all you're left with is your own imagination, which can really friggin' suck sometimes.
Oh, I love you too, Sissy.
We're here for you, baby. I'm so sorry. And if you need to take a break at any time, just let me know. But if you see anything that you want to talk about here, if anybody could, any of the moderators here, please put JLR Investigates link. You can do it for either this particular video or all of his videos. This is credit to JLR Investigates. He did this interview with Brandon Shurtliff right before, and I mean within a week, it was days actually, of Brandon Shurtliff being named a suspect. I had somebody ask me, how did JLR know if they hadn't been, you know, named suspects yet? Well, after they started the excavation at the Wondras, then JLR found out about everybody that lived in that house and was able to get in touch with Brandon Shurtliff. Well, he was at his father's house in South Dakota, right? South Dakota?
Yeah, no, North Dakota.
See, I do the same thing.
I always say South Dakota. I know where it is. Real quick, Kimberly, I really appreciate you. I really do. Thank you for giving everything you know to law enforcement and talking with them. I really do appreciate that. And please, everyone, she's here to support Michael and support our family. She wants the truth and justice as well. So please don't harass her.
Yeah, and we don't want everybody asking Kimberly a bunch of questions and stuff. I've spoke with Kimberly many times, so please don't go at her in chat. She is trying her hardest. This is somebody that she was very good friends with, Stacey Wondra, you know, and now she's finding out a bunch of facts, and she's like, wait a minute, this don't make sense, you know, so please don't go at Kimberly.
Yeah, and Kimberly, I'm glad that you talk with Samantha. She is an incredible woman, and I'm glad you speak with her. I'm glad she's helpful. Brandon, where's Michael? Where is your duffel bag? And I just want to flick him.
You said you wanted to help, Brandi. You said you wanted to help Michael Vaughan and do, you know, you even say it in this interview here, your very first interview with a YouTube creator. You say you just want to do everything you can to help. Well, then do that, Brandon. Stop putting it off. I mean, look, Stacey Wondra got arrested immediately because she didn't turn over that Michael Vaughan was dead and buried in the backyard and charged. And she could be charged with those things again. And you didn't report Michael's death either. and neither did Adrian Lucien. So you can think, okay, I'll get off on murder and kidnapping. Well, are you going to get off with the fact that you know that Michael Vaughan was gone? Because you are a mandatory reporter in the state of Idaho. You have information about Michael Joseph Vaughan. You need to talk to law enforcement, period. Where is Michael? We know you know where he is right now. You're a monster. Everybody knows it already. Even your mom and grandma, they know. So everything you're worried about people knowing, we already know.
Your mama let you stay there.
I mean, the longer you hold the information about where Michael Vaughan is, the bigger of a monster you look like. I mean, honestly, you're just causing more pain and suffering for this family. And the more you do that, don't think that a judge or jury isn't going to see how long you've kept it from them.
You know how serious they were about a deal, Brandon? When they went and searched the cemetery, Mike Duke went too. Kim, they did. Yep. Your question came just at perfect timing. They tried, and he ran like the little bitch boy he is. Sorry, Sam.
Nope, you're fine.
I'm not going to be nice, Brandon, anymore. I've been trying to be nice to you for years. And you're just a big old fat liar, just like Stacey and Sarah and Adrian. And you brought your mama and grandma into it, too.
Dragging your family through the mud.
Yeah. Yes, sweetheart.
Because you can't get off your mom's tit. Jesus Christ. Just man up already. We know you don't want to go to prison and you're terrified to go there, but it's going to happen either way. You might as well try to get a deal and tell where Michael is. And plus,
Kim, we love questions.
Going and getting murder charges and kidnapping charges against you because you don't want to come forward and tell your side of the story, and all based off of what Sarah or Stacey Wondra has said. So you can either say something, talk about the truth, and if it's true what Stacey Wondra is saying, then I guess you don't have to do that. Do I believe that Stacey Wondra is given the entire truth? No. So go tell law enforcement the truth. Tell your side of the story. And don't lie this time. Don't play games. Just do it. Okay, we're going to go over this interview. We'll see how much we can get in. My son is coming over for dinner, and I've got a little while, so we'll go over as much as we can. If we have to, we'll come back. Here we go.
Okay.
Yep. So what about the taxi business? Was that still functioning up to when she got arrested?
Yes, sir, that is correct. Yeah, I was still functioning, and it'd still be going today if none of those charges would have happened with her and Tanner. That's what set it off.
So she gets charged with arrested for fighting with Tanner. Does she get bond? Yeah. Does she just get released?
I think they gave her bond. They gave her bond for a little bit, and then they let her out on a preliminary hearing kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. So they're waiting to determine if any more evidence comes up, if she really did like try to smack him with a dog bone, or if she tried to threaten him with a gun, or if that was true, or if it was just hearsay.
So he's accusing her of hitting her with a dog bone?
Yeah, he said that she smacked her with a dog bone and said, "Get out of my house right now or I'm calling the cops." And that's what started everything. And then right when that happened, me and her got in an argument as well, and I got my little van and I left and went home.
So you never went back after that?
Right. After that, I went back one time, and then I went back there and was hanging out with another friend. His name was...
What you got, Mama?
Did you hear him? So, allegedly, he was talking like he wasn't there, right? And then all of a sudden, he's like, "Oh, I got in a van and took off and ran." Yeah, because it's a bitch. But right there, he's they're trying to see if she allegedly did that. You weren't there. I think it was actually even, is it in the police report? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I actually haven't even seen that police report. Maybe I should do some more requests for some other court documents and find out whether there's any witness statements or anything from anybody in the house when that went down. Fact of the matter is, Sarah Wondra is a violent woman, and so is Stacey Wondra. I mean, he's got some serious anger issues, but you are correct. He's saying him and Sarah get into a fight, and then he leaves and gets in the van and goes. So he was there. He had to have seen something after, playing that he wasn't sure if it did or not.
Adrian said that she pistol whipped him. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, did she say, or did he say it was that she pistol whipped Tanner, or was it somebody else?
So what happened was there was a man that Stacey Wondra worked with who came over to their house one night for dinner. And he was saying that this was in spring of 2021. And that while he was there to eat dinner and stuff, not only did he hear Sarah and Adrian having some conversation about like kidnapping somebody or something, but he said while he was there, Sarah pulled a pew out of the couch, hit Adrian with it, because they argued about this conversation that they had about, kidnapping somebody or something to that effect. And he witnessed it, and it scared the crap out of him, and he left. And this is the same
guns out of couch cushions, I think too.
Right? Well, not only that, but the fact that he said that, I asked him, because I was up on the live with Justin when we interviewed him, and I'm like, are you willing to talk to law enforcement about all of this? Because he was trying to figure out the timing in which he was there. Later to find out, he said it was in the spring. He was going to look through receipts and stuff, which would prove that Adrian Lucien was there in the spring
of 2021. That's right.
Yes.
See, there's so much
prior.
That Justin had somebody up. Oh, I have to go over, because that was a part time when I was so not here.
Yeah, we talked about all kinds of stuff, and out of nowhere, he talks about some guy sitting on the couch next to Sarah with dark skin and a lot of tattoos, and then Justin pulls up a picture of Adrian, and he goes, "Yep, that's him." And our mouths just drop. I'm just sitting there like, what? Because he was talking about the timing and stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute. This answers a question that we've been waiting. And I'm pretty sure he did contact law enforcement and everything, and had conversations with them to talk about his information and everything. He was also the same person that said that Stacey and Sarah's vehicles were always messy with all kinds of like fast food, junk, and cups and everything all over. So when I think it was either me or Justin that asked him, like, so what would you say about one of their vehicles being spotless when it got turned over, to be repoed? And yeah, he just went crazy about how they're filthy dirty, especially their videos or vehicles.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can't find that. I'll send you the link if you want to watch it.
Yes, please.
Randy, and he was from North Carolina, and he got in a crash with his motorhome. So they were trying to help him with that, with the taxi, by giving him a ride to do the repairs on his pickup. They got totaled from the crash. And then from there, that's when that kind of went.
Brandon, for somebody that tries to say that you didn't live at the Wondras house, that you only stayed there every now and then, or even just on the weekends, why do you know so much about everything going on in the house, the taxi business, who was there, who wasn't there, what happened, what didn't happen when it comes to friends or Sarah or State? Like, you sure do know a lot for somebody who claims that you did not live at their house. I'm just saying.
Kelly Dime says, wasn't that the same guy who mentioned that Stacey would sit out in the parking lot and wait for Sarah while she worked for her shift? No, I remember something about that. Okay, so that's the same guy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Sideways, and I went back there once, and me and him were trying to do the taxi by ourselves, but then Stacey got involved and got in with a new phone and tried to run the show.
And if you guys just heard this guy Randy and Brandon are the ones who originally wanted to get the taxi business started, but then Stacey took over. But then Stacey says that it was Sarah who started the taxi business.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, when you're done, look at Kimberly's comment. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
she says, are they trying to say that he was there when Sarah got into it with that fat guy and pulled a gun on him? Is that what he said? Because that's not true. That Adrian wasn't there when she got into it with the fat guy?
Got into it with Stacey and pulled a GUN on him. Is that what he said? Because that's not true. I am not sure.
Same. This could be another, speculation or somebody putting themselves.
That he was there when Sarah got into it with.
Yeah, Sarah has pulled a gun on multiple people, so.
Right.
Which person? we got to specify.
Yeah, we're not talking about her pulling out the pew on Stacey.
Okay.
If that's what you're saying. Because she's saying fat guy, which I'm assuming is Stacey. No, we weren't talking about when she did that to Stacey.
That's right, because that was a shot GUN, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The company, and then me and Stacey got in arguments about who could drive the car, who couldn't, who could work, who couldn't, and it just became a big nightmare from there.
Interesting. Did they bring in like, it seems like they're just bringing people in because they want to help them.
Yes.
Why are they doing that?
I don't know. That was one of the biggest questions that was on my mind too. It's just like they were trying to. They said that they kind of did it for God or they did it for the church, and they want to give people a place to sleep at night so they don't have to be homeless.
Yeah. Was Stacey religious?
He pretended to be, but he wasn't as like he believes in God, you know what I'm saying? But he doesn't believe in like all the religious practices like most people. Yeah. But they went to church and they paid tithes and tried to help people and got money from the church to pay their bills, and they were with the church,
Interesting. Well, see, because people are saying about Sarah, right? Because they're saying right after.
Right. Yeah, Kimberly's saying that Brandon was there during the time when Sarah pulled the pew out on that guy that she's in prison for now. Yes. Okay. Hi, Shannon. Good to see you, hon.
Michael Vaughan went missing, then she starts making all these religious posts, like within a month after he went missing, and people are suspecting, is she trying to repent? Does she have a guilty conscience? Is she trying to deflect and try to thwart off anyone that's investigating her to act like she's religious? Like, what's the deal with that?
Yeah, I know that they always kind of like hid behind it, or they went with those kind of things. Like the whole time I was there, they just say, oh, we believe in God and God tells me what we should do for the day and how to help people, and we believe in doing good to the community and it'll come back around, kind of like a good karma thing.
Yeah.
And so that's why like they were kind of like good charity people. So I don't know why they would go from that to getting caught with guns and then trying to run off with the story that definitely didn't happen in front of my eyes, or else I would have reported it too,
Yeah.
It didn't happen in front of
my eyes. But you didn't report it, Brandon.
Nope.
It did happen before your eyes. You actually had involvement of everything that happened to Michael. Of course, you're not going to report it. Like Stacey Wondra says, he tried to get everybody to report it and give Michael back and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Come on now.
Hi, Mandy. Kimberly says, anytime I've ever seen their cars, they're just a mess. A total pigsty, and the video visits I had with Sarah in the past at her house or house is always like that too.
Yeah. Same thing that I've heard from many people that were there at the house is they were just gross. Even Brandon's mentioned that their house was constantly disgusting, that Sarah and Stacey were constantly fighting because Stacey was such a pig in the house that she was constantly having to pick up after him. And even a roommate that Stacey Wondra lived with for a while, when he left, water bottles full of spit from his chew, and like, he stunk when he lived there. He's been harassed in jail for stinking because he refuses to take showers. I mean, gross, disgusting people.
He was living there full time. He's full of shite.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was living there all the time. How could he help them run the taxi business and run taxi and pick people up when phone calls and stuff come in if he's not there every day?
Right.
So
that's why it's questioning to me.
And that's why I'm asking you questions, because maybe you have the clues of the idea, but you're saying that they couldn't have done it. Now, let's go back to that day Michael went missing, right? So
yeah,
that morning, where were you all at on July 27th, 2021, the day Michael was reported missing? Where were you guys at in the morning?
Okay, so earlier that day, I spent the night there because we came in towing my car from my mom's to their house. And
okay, see where his story starts? He starts backwards.
Yeah, and he always does that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
like my brain's messed up, and I know I switch words a lot. I do that a lot now. But he
was very specific when he asked about mourning.
Yes.
What were you doing that morning?
That's one thing that Stacey actually told the truth on, was Sarah, the star of the taxi business, not Brandon.
Yeah, and you're right. He does that all the time. He always wants to start at the end of the day when it comes to, towing his vehicle back, because they planned to create that alibi. And as soon as Michael's mentioned, Brandon's mind goes directly on that trip to Cuna and to go get his car. It's all he can think about of that day. It's, all of the memories and all of the horrific things that happen are all just boom, 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 flashing through his head, and he cannot stop thinking about the end of the day.
Under Your Scars story number 999. Exactly.
Yeah.
Kimberly says that Brandon wasn't there when Sarah pulled the gun on Tanner, but he was. He says he left. He was there.
Over there, and then right as soon as we were getting the car back to the neighborhood, the whole neighborhood was on high alert looking for the little boy, Michael Vaughan, and they said he went missing right that day earlier, right before we came in with the car we were towing. And then right as soon as that happened, I went out and tried to look for the kid with Sarah. We got in her little Toyota car and drove to the gas station and drove around after we got out of the pickup, and then tried to look in the field to see if he went down by the river or if he could be out just wandering lost. And, that's what hit my mind first. And then from there, it was me and Sarah. We went to the gas station, got some milk, and then did this and that and came back. And then right
this and that, drove by Brandi Vaughan's house and saw her crying in the front yard because her son's missing. How about that?
Yeah.
Outside the house, watching you cry. It was one of their things that they wanted to do, was to stop by. It's disgusting.
Oh, look at Kimberly, what Kimberly says. Hi, cute baby girl. Thank you. Kimberly says, Samantha, that's a lie. He was not there because I was on the phone with her, and it was just her and Stacey and that guy, meaning Tanner, that she pulled the gun on. He was not there that day. He's a liar.
Well, I am not sure. I
Me neither.
I don't know.
Well,
So.
we know that she pled guilty because Tanner was going to testify against her. We were all there because I said I was going to be at everything I possibly could for any of them when it came to court proceedings, even if it wasn't involving Michael, because I want them to see my face. I want them to have Michael on their minds nonstop. Okay. I made that one too long. He was not there. I already reported that to the police. I was talking to her on the phone when all that went down with that guy she's in prison for. Okay. Thank you, Kimberly.
Okay. All right. And let's not ask Kimberly, any questions or anything about anything going on. We don't want to hinder anything going on in the investigation. And Kimberly, we don't want you saying anything to hinder anything either. So let's try not to put out too much information and chat Kimberly by you or anybody asking Kimberly any questions. Let's just stick to the topic that we are talking about right now, which is Brandon Shurtliff and this interview. So I'm not trying to be a bee or anything. I'm just saying this isn't the time or place to talk to Kimberly about anything because she has been working with law enforcement.
Right.
And I don't want to mess up anything.
Exactly.
So, love you guys. Thank you. And I'm glad you're here, Kimberly. I know you're here always trying to listen, to find out facts and stuff. And maybe at another time, if possible, later down the road, if you want to come up and talk about the things that you know up on panel, that'd be great. I just don't want anything messing up Michael's investigation. So, love you, girl. Thank you. Love you guys.
Hi, Beverly.
All right. Something that he just said that I stopped. I want to listen to. Can't remember.
And then tried to look in the field to see if he went down by the river or if he could be out just wandering lost. And, that's what hit my mind first. And then from there, it was me and Sarah. We went to the gas station, got some milk, and then did this and that and came back. And then right when we got back, Carson had his pickup next door with a light bar on it.
Right there.
So I said, hey, we need to start this up and kind of go look in the neighborhood and the farmer's field, the river. We got to go find this missing person report that just came out, So that's what was on my mind right when it happened. But earlier, before that day, before we towed the car, we went to Applebee's. And
what time was that?
That was
earlier in the day
after we woke up and had breakfast and watched TV and coffee. And then we went, me and Sarah and one of her other friends that was there visiting for like a week or so because he came in from the airport. He wanted to go visit his family.
One of her other friends. You notice how he says her other friends, like he's trying to disassociate himself to Adrian Lucien and the fact that they took him to Applebee's, when we have heard Stacey and other people say Brandon and Adrian were actually good friends. I know that Adrian and Brandon did things together by themselves, including just days prior to Michael Vaughan's disappearance, meeting up in Twin Falls, Idaho. What's that about? They did a lot of things together, but here it's Sarah's friend.
Right.
Family over by Nampa area somewhere, by the Karcher Mall.
Who was that?
So that's Adrian.
Is that the Adrian Hernandez?
No, that's a different guy. Adrian Hernandez, I was locked up and incarcerated with him at the Canyon County Jail earlier this year, and he was just there for like some kind of a quarrel or marijuana or just some little petty charge, and he's just there for that. But this Adrian that I'm talking about was a different person.
Who? Like, what's his last name?
I don't know his last name at all. I just know that
Forehead,
he was
liar.
Adrian, and he had like kind of an afro. And we went and did kind of a YouTube video that day where we were trying to make music and kind of like a car crash scene.
Mm-hmm.
And we were hanging out.
He actually told me that they did do this car crash video thing, but it was the day before that, like within just a couple days before Michael came up missing, is what Brandon told me.
Now with him doing that earlier. And then after that, me, Adrian, and Sarah went to Applebee's, where we dropped him off there after me and Sarah got a chicken sandwich and a soda pop over there at the Popeyes restaurant.
Who bought the Applebee's? You or him? Or who paid?
Sarah took me to lunch over at Popeyes, and she was going to buy a sandwich for me, Adrian, and her. But he said, my family's here, I want to see him. So I'm going to go to Applebee's and go over here and have dinner with them, or lunch with them real quick, and then give me a little bit of time to do that, and then you guys come back and get me.
Yeah.
So we did that, and in the meantime, me and Sarah were bored just kind of driving around the mall, and we didn't know what to do. So I drove back over to my house to get a water bottle and fill it up with water to bring back over to their house because I didn't like their water.
Yeah.
And then during that time,
I've always wondered, like, why in the hell did they go all the way back over there? I mean, it was a pretty long drive. I mean, was Adrian really at Applebee's that long?
To go from Nampa to Kuna?
Right.
For water?
For water. Or was it to boink each other and spend time together? Because we know Sarah and Brandon were like in love with each other. Because that has been right. Or were they preparing for something? Because they're driving around the mall. Him and Sarah go in the mall. I mean, they're basically all out looking to kidnap somebody.
Right.
So, what was the trip to Kuna for?
Or were they meeting with were they meeting with somebody? Somebody brought up a very good point. I think it was yesterday. And all of their movements, like later in the afternoon, I think they were stating that they were possibly trying to meet up with said buyer. Some of those trips that they were taking.
Yeah, it was just one thing that I've always wondered, like, why did they drive all the way to Kuna? I don't know.
Shannon says, wait a minute. First of all, there's not a Popeyes close to Applebee's. True. Second of all, his house is about half an hour to 45 minutes away from the Applebee's. Exactly.
And they go there and they drive back. So that right there is an hour and a half time. Mm-hmm. And then you have them driving around the mall for how long? Plus they went inside the mall for how long? So you're telling me that Adrian sat down in Applebee's for 2 hours or longer?
Well, and isn't there a story that they went to sell an iPad as well?
On the way back from Applebee's, on the way back to Fruitland, they stopped by some pawn shop or something to sell something or buy something. I don't know.
Okay. And Shannon says, I only know how long it takes because me living in Meridian to go to work to Kuna takes me about 15 to 20 minutes. Exactly.
Right.
And they were in so.
Yeah, that's an awful long time to just be sitting inside Applebee's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Something's up with that whole story.
And Callie Dime, yes, there is a picture of Adrian outside of front of Applebee's with his son. And I want to say it was like 19. Yes, Spirit Secret. Amy, sorry. Spirit Seeker Squad. Mandy, did she research the picture of Adrian and found the exact one? It was in Nampa because there was, because Stacey said they were either in Boise or Nampa. And of course there is Applebee's in both. So Mandy did a really good job of, she broke it all down. She even drove down the street virtually and looked around and saw the building on the other side of the street and the bush, and so she had it. Yep, she got it all down really good.
Yeah, and Adrian Lucian says that he went to Idaho because he wanted to meet his son that he had never met before, whom was 5, 6 or so at the time. And that's not the reason why Adrian went to Fruitland, because Adrian went that day to Applebee's and visited with his son. And according to baby's mama, like, that was the one and only time he saw his kid. He didn't go there to spend time and meet and have this like relationship with his son. He met him once. That was it. And the whole time he was there.
After that, we came back to the mall and we picked up Adrian, me and Sarah, and then all three of us, Sarah, Adrian, and I, we hopped in the car and we went back to the Fruitland house where they do their taxi business.
Did you see that? That's weird. So he says, me, Sarah, and Adrian, and then me, Sarah, or Adrian, Sarah, and I, like he's having to reiterate twice, one repeated after another, that it was just them three. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm going to rewind a little bit here.
Who bought the Applebee's? You or him? Or who paid?
Sarah took me to lunch over at Popeyes, and she was going to buy a sandwich for me, Adrian, and her, but he said, my family, Sarah, want to see him, so I'm going to go to Applebee's and go over here and have dinner with them, or lunch with them real quick, and then give me a little bit of time to do that, and then you guys come back and get me.
Yeah.
So we did that, and in the meantime, me and Sarah were bored just kind of driving around the mall.
Okay, it's coming up.
Didn't
Watch.
know what to do, so I drove back over to my house to get a water bottle and fill it up with water to bring back over to their house because I didn't like their water.
Here we go.
Yeah. And then during that time, after that, we came back to the mall and we picked up Adrian, me and Sarah, and then all three of us, Sarah, Adrian, and I, we hopped in the car and we went back.
Was somebody with them?
Right, because that's weird. The way he said that. Go back to his well, got some water.
Kimberly,
water.
I really appreciate you being here. You don't have
and
to.
Then during that time,
yes, I will.
After that, we came back
We'll
to
have
the
a
mall
conversation.
and we picked up Adrian, me and Sarah, and then all three.
We came back to the mall, picked up Adrian, me and Sarah, and then all three of us. So he reiterates it again that it's just Adrian, me, and Sarah, then all three of us, and then so he does it 3 times. Adrian, me, and Sarah, and then all three of us, Sarah, Adrian, and I. So in a row, reiterating it's just the 3 of them 3 times. What?
Right.
Sarah, Adrian, and I, we hopped in the car and we went back to the Fruitland house where they do their taxi business.
All right, so where was Stacey during all of this?
Yeah, that's just weird. I don't know. I hope we didn't run you off, Kimberly. And I hope everybody in here wasn't running you off. You might want to change your YouTube name when you come back because everybody knows who you are now and they're not going to stop with questions. Just pre-warning. Not joking, Kimberly. I'm so sorry. You were getting bombarded.
No, I think she was responding to what you said. We don't want, things that she's discussed with law enforcement, to, so.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to avoid right now. And people asking her questions and then she answering those questions, all of that kind of stuff we just don't need because of what she's doing. So
yeah, I really appreciate you being here. I don't want you to not be here. I appreciate your support.
Yep. I love having you here, Kimberly.
Justice will be served. So great to see you. I appreciate it very much.
He was back at the house.
So Stacey said, you think Stacey stayed home all that day? Stayed home?
We left him there at the house. I don't know if he stayed there the whole time or not, to be honest.
Was anyone else there with him?
I don't think so. I think it was just him home alone at that point.
And
that was before we went to tow.
And they had dogs and cats there?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they had one hand.
That's before we left to tow. He's saying Stacey was there by himself before they went to tow.
Hound dog and like 3 or 4 tuxedo cats.
So Stacey's there. You guys go out. What was Adrian doing at the mall?
He was just visiting his girlfriend and his son. And then after that, we went over to Macy's and kind of went in there and shopped around for clothes a little bit. And we were playing on our iPads and just taking pictures, goofing off. And then from there,
You're hanging out at the mall taking pictures? Did you guys hear that? How in the hell have I missed that in this interview? I have gone over this interview so many times. They were just on their iPad. First he says they're hanging out at the mall and they're just on their iPads taking pictures. Rewind.
I don't know if he stayed there the whole time or not, to be honest.
Was anyone else there with him?
I don't think so. I think it was just him home alone at that point.
And
that was before we went to tow.
And they had dogs and cats there?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they had one hound dog and like 3 or 4 tuxedo cats.
Get too far.
So Stacey's there. You guys go out. What was Adrian doing at the mall?
He was just visiting his girlfriend and his son. And then after that, we went over to Macy's and kind of went in there and shopped around for clothes a little.
Macy's, so they went into the mall, shopped around for some clothes.
A little bit. And we were playing on our iPads and just taking pictures, goofing off.
And just taking pictures. In the mall, on their iPads, just taking pictures. That's just weird.
And then from there, we go back, and then that's how it goes.
Well, what about the afternoon from the mall to you going back to the neighborhood? Did you guys go anywhere else? Stop anywhere else?
We just went over to a pawn shop, I think, just kind of look around at the pawn shop a little bit. And then I think he bought like an iPad, or he was trying to get a new iPad, I think.
That's Adrian, right?
Right, yes, sir. And then I think he bought one there. We went to the pawn shop, bought an iPad, and then came back and we were just chilling.
So what car were you guys all in?
We were in that little Toyota 2016 Toyota Corolla.
Okay, what is that? What color is it? White?
It's a blue one.
A blue.
When he's asked questions, he can't really remember things. He's, well, I'll have to think about that. Blah, 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 blah. But it was a 2016 Toyota Corolla.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember you were telling me that they were towing your car. You told me earlier in another conversation that your car was being towed by their truck that day.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So where's that come into play here?
So I asked them earlier that day if we could use their pickup to go to my house, my mom's house, and get my Mercedes Benz and tow it back over there so I could work on it if I was going to be hanging out over there doing the taxi business.
Yeah. So when did you guys go over there to get your car?
I think it was around like 6 or 7 at night.
6 or 7. Then you're saying while you're coming back, that's when you noticed everyone searching for Michael?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I remember going to the gas station. We were probably at the gas station filling up like right at 7.
Right at 7. What gas station?
There's the Chevron right there just up from their house.
Yeah. So where you were seeing people out there looking for Michael, or you were seeing police?
I was just seeing police cars cruising around, and I was seeing a lot of like the neighbors going out in their cars cruising around, and just like the whole subdivision from the left side to the right side. They were all just out, everybody walking around and looking, and flashlights. Search and rescue was there, police, everything.
But how did you know they were looking for Michael?
because so when we were pulling into the subdivision, Sarah was driving the pickup, and she stopped and talked to the neighbor that was coming down the road the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
And she stopped right there in the middle of the road, and they both opened their doors and they started talking to each other right there.
Okay. And you told me you never seen Michael Vaughan before in your life prior.
Right. I never met him or his parents ever before. I just know
Me
that they're
too,
neighbors
Mandy.
of where I was staying over there with the Wondras. They live like diagonal.
Yeah. What about the okay. Yeah, I got so many questions. All right. So Adrian, where's he from?
I think he's from California somewhere.
So, but how did he get up there? Like, how did he end up there in Idaho?
He just flew in from California to come see his son and his old girlfriend or whatever.
But where did Sarah meet him? Like, how does she know him?
I don't know. I think he just randomly like called their phone one day from the airport and said, "Can you give me a ride from here to there or whatever?" And that's probably how those two met.
Tammy, can you pause?
Because obviously.
Yeah, and right here, them meeting this way that he's saying that they're meeting, that he called Sarah to get a taxi, to go from here to there or whatever. Dan Guthrie and Brandon Shurtliff told me that they met each other on an app before Adrian came to Idaho. And what were you gonna say, hon?
Justice will be served. It says Brandon also fails to mention him and Sarah went to CUNA to to FUK. Guess that's irrelevant, except it's exactly why Stacey was out trying to find a child for Sarah, since he wouldn't stop effing Brando. Yep. That's why I think Stacey grabbed Michael.
Know a lot of people, but the thing is I don't know. In my personal opinion, the whole like wanted to get Michael because they wanted a child doesn't make sense to me, because you have heard Sarah and have heard Stacey both say they didn't want kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know where all of that ever even started, that they wanted to take Michael for themselves. I mean, they're going to go kidnap a child from their neighborhood and then keep him to raise? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
I mean, that to me is like, but Stacey Wondra has an ego. I personally believe that Stacey's the one who took Michael. Brandi believes that Stacey took Michael. And I think that because Sarah, Brandon, and Adrian are all together, they're all hanging out, going to the mall, they're doing what they planned to do, which was to go take somebody, maybe leaving Stacey out of the picture. And he feels like they're just leaving me out of all of this. I'm just going to do it then. I'll do it. I can prove to them that I'm capable of doing this type of attitude. And maybe that would be why he took Michael, because nobody else could accomplish what they had all set out to do that day. I don't know.
So he thought he was going to be, this is all allegedly, everyone. This is my feeling, what I've put together, and Sammy and I are pretty much damn well on the same page on when it comes to that. Stacey, well, because of his fetal alcohol syndrome, he got something in his head, and because he's so arrogant, and they weren't including him. That's why I asked him if he was upset about because they were all smarter than him, Sarah and Adrian. That's why they weren't including that's why they were including oh Jesus, I just lost my train of thought because I saw Shannon's question.
They're not including Stacey in all of this. I mean, Here you go. You've got 4 suspects. They wake up that morning. They've all made this plan. Sarah and Adrian, come up with this plan. They're going to steal the child. They're going to sell the child. And then the next morning they wake up and Brandon, Sarah, and Adrian leave. And what? Now Stacey's just stuck at home all day, and he was. And he was at home sitting there fuming on this all day long, in my opinion, that they didn't include him, that they had left the house, that they were going to go try to find this child, and he wasn't included. So what's the first thing he does when he leaves the house? He goes to the splash pad.
Yep.
Juanita Kelleher in court said, not only did he check the door handle, but he was looking around as if looking to see if anybody was watching him, and then waved at children. First, why is he even checking the door handle?
Right.
And then from there leaves and goes to the skate park and picks up a prescription for Sarah and sits at a skate park before coming home. And shortly after that, Michael Vaughan is abducted. By who? Did Sarah, Adrian, and Brandon fail at the mall and then they kidnapped Michael? Or did Stacey Wondra do it because of his ego? Really? I don't know. But I can see him fuming, and because he is left out. They all leave.
Right. Little Red, thank you for being here. And I read something the other night. I am so sorry. I had no idea that you have lost a little one.
Oh.
So.
Liard is in the house. Dorelli is still here. Yeah, Brandon, where's Michael?
Obviously, Sarah, according to this arrest affidavit, she's claiming that this Adrian guy helped bury Michael in her yard. That's what she said, according to the arrest affidavits, or the neighbors. She also said the neighbor's yard, too.
Right.
So,
you seeing this look on his face right here, you guys? He's finding out from JLR that there's already a probable cause affidavit, and that in it, Sarah says that Brandon helped bury, and look at his face here. He's stunned, shocked. The blankest look ever right here.
Yeah, because, obviously, Sarah, according to this arrest affidavit, she's claiming that this Adrian guy helped bury Michael in her yard. That's what she said, according to the arrest affidavits, or the neighbors. She also said the neighbor's yard, too.
Look at this look.
Right.
So,
yeah,
right, and then back to blink.
People are wondering, who's Adrian?
Yeah, he's just some kid
Big
that
gulp.
came here from California for a little bit to visit his son and his old girlfriend.
Did he get arrested at all?
No, he didn't get arrested or talked to or nothing.
So how long was he there at their house for?
He was only there for like a week up to 2 weeks, tops.
After Michael went missing?
After Michael went missing, I'm pretty sure he was there for like couple days after that as well.
Okay, so he was there about a week and a half prior to Michael being missing. Then Michael went missing, and then a couple days later, he goes back to California.
I think so, yeah.
When none of the suspects can tell the truth about when Adrian Lucien got there, and that's because he's the one who creates this plan they don't want anybody to know about. They say a week before, a few weeks before, 2 months before. Get it right, you guys. When did Adrian Lucien come to the Wondra's house? When did he come to Idaho?
Yeah. Kim, Adrian he talks off and on throughout the years. He messages one person we know of that he talks to. He's always talking in riddles. He did come into Justin's life clutch them pearls. When Brandon was it Brandon? Or no, it was Stacey. Sorry,
Wondra.
Stacey Wondra was up on panel, and he basically said, that y'all took that
kid.
Yeah.
Y'all took that kid is what he said. Y'all took that kid.
We do know that when, law enforcement came to speak with them, he was hiding in a closet. He
came into my Michael Vaughan Facebook and put up a heart with a little arrow crossed through it, and then came back months later and deleted it.
Yeah, he
goes back and forth of feeling bad about what happened to Michael, because his plan was to get a kid and sell a kid, not for the child to end up gone.
Well, he did reach out yesterday. I do know that. He seems to he's been popping up every time there's a court hearing.
Yeah.
So I do know he was communicating with someone yesterday.
Yeah. Yep, I got the same messages. So
yeah.
He's around. He listens. He watches. Wouldn't be surprised if he's here right now. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Brandon.
Hi,
you guys
guys.
have to live your life watching our lives and everything else, because you guys have to keep up on all the information. Go talk to law enforcement.
That's bad, man. Do you need me, baby? I'm okay. Send me. I'll be listening. I got my phone. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know where in California?
I have no idea.
You're in a hot tub. I see you're in a hot tub. What's that? The North Dakota life?
Yeah, that's North Dakota life. Trying to stay warm out here right now.
Yeah. Interesting. So interesting. Now, did you know that Stacey had crazy criminal record in the past of being in the feds and locked up and all that kind of stuff? Did you know that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he talked to me previously before that, and he said that he got locked up for a year or two because he lied on a federal application to buy a gun or something at a store.
So you've seen him with guns. Why would he still have guns if he already got arrested for it? Did he just not care? Or?
I think that was it or something. Because at first he said, hey, I know that you're not a felon and you can have guns. Do you want me to try to find you a gun? And I said, no, I already have a gun. I don't need to get another one, But if you are selling that other little 17 or whatever, I'll buy it if I get money from you guys paying me from doing taxiing, That was our first previous conversation.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wonder why he was so interested in you getting a gun, Why does he want others to get a gun? Is he fascinated with guns?
Yeah, I think he comes from a background where him and his grandpa used to hunt back in the day before he got in trouble. When he went out with other people that were responsible, he probably did some hunting.
So some people are saying that does Sarah have any kids that you knew of or had kids?
No, sir.
See, some people speculated that
Sarah Wondra did have a child and put that child up for adoption because that's what her mom and dad wanted her to do. Just a FYI.
Sarah is involved and she got arrested, but people are speculating, hey, maybe Sarah did it because she wanted a kid on her own because she couldn't have kids or.
And Callie, I'm right there with you. I do not believe that Stacey and Sarah wanted to take a child to keep for their own or because they wanted a kid. They have both said that they didn't want a kid. And could you imagine what a child's life would be like living in the house with them anyway? A nightmare.
What do you think?
Hold on just a second here. I'm in an interview right now, so I'm going to have to do this real quick. I think that she couldn't have kids because her husband, Stacey, said that he got his nuts crushed in a bull riding rodeo accident or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Stacey got his nuts crushed by a bull. Hi, Josh.
He said he used to bull ride and a bull stepped on his thing and crushed it, so he couldn't have him.
So he couldn't give her a child then.
Right, and he wanted a kid and she really didn't.
Oh, she didn't want a child.
No, she didn't really want to have a kid, but he was trying to push that on her.
So is it possible? Okay, so you're with Sarah and you're with Adrian out or getting your car and bringing it back. Is it possible Stacey was home left alone and did something and maybe like went out and snatched Michael? I mean, how do you do you guys know about Stacey's whereabouts at the time?
I personally don't. So I'm saying that could be a possibility.
Because there was no one else.
He personally doesn't know what Stacey was doing, but that could be a possibility, meaning that Stacey took Michael, is what he's saying right here.
There with him, correct?
Right. Yeah. Yes, sir.
But you're saying that you were with Sarah all that day. You and Adrian and Sarah were all together throughout that whole day, starting in the morning. And you didn't she didn't go off on her own or do anything?
No, I was with Sarah that whole day and Adrian. And then Stacey was left home alone.
Stacey was left home alone.
Here he is trying to create his alibi here, saying that he was with Sarah and Adrian all day. That Stacey was left home alone.
There, when you guys were out, what cars were there with Stacey?
I think he had his little Cadillac Escalade that he cruised around at that time.
What color was that?
It was a white one, an older one that he traded his pickup in for. That when that pickup started to have a couple issues, instead of getting it fixed, he just traded it in.
Yeah. See, because he's left alone and no one else is there with him. I wonder if he ventured out. Yeah. Okay. For instance, when you guys got back, was he in the house?
Yeah, he was in there. He was in there on the couch, I'm pretty sure.
What was he doing?
Just watching TV.
Like he never even went anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, because, he's left alone. It seems like you three have it, you guys are each other's alibis, I guess, and you're saying you did whatever throughout the day. And I appreciate you talking to me. I mean, somebody that would be guilty wouldn't be telling all this in a sense, but, people just want answers.
Yeah, and I want answers too. I don't think Adrian did it, and I don't think Sarah did it. But Stacey, I know that sometimes he's lied to me and he's lied to others, and he says he'll do something and then he really don't do it. And I got after him about that, and I was trying to teach him that you're not supposed to do that in life, and then he'll get sometimes mad at me, So that's where my trail kind of ends, and that's where I'm kind of curious in my own head.
With Stacey.
With Stacey, I'd like to talk to him personally, and if he was here right now, I'd be talking with him and say, hey, I know you and me didn't. I know that you broke my watch, and you thought I wanted to steal your girl or this or that, but that was all accusations. It's not true. I was just there to help you guys work, make a business, and pay the bills. That was my whole objective.
So he was accusing you of trying to get with Sarah?
Yes, sir. Like every day.
Every day, but he didn't kick you out of the house.
Right, because she liked me a little bit because I was kind of the cool guy on the block, hanging out, trying to save the day. And he got a little bit jealous of it, and I wanted to kind of shut that down and say, hey, we're all friends. You keep your wife. You guys get along, and you guys stop doing that, kind of like a counselor or a mediator.
Was he ever did you ever see him do any violence?
No. He pretended to try to be a tough guy, try to do that kind of stuff, but he never did it when I was around.
He's a pretty big dude.
He's a heavy feller. He's like 450, 500 pounds.
So, I mean, if you see him walk, does he get tired when he walks a short distance?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's interesting. So because he's left alone, you guys are out. Michael Vaughan goes missing around, we'll say 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And, what happened? Where was Starkey? Where was Carson Starkey?
I think he was driving for another company at that time because he was mad at Sarah and Stacey because they were kind of trying to give him a little bit of bluff or a little bit of grief. And he was like, you know what? I can go work somewhere else or be part of somebody else. I don't have to sit here and take your guys' nonsense.
So, interesting. What about the Cesar Garudo? What's the deal with him? Is he involved? Could he be involved? Was he around their house?
I know that he went to their house like one time. Other than that, me and Stacey went to his house one time, and he had a couple other friends over there, and they were just kind of hanging out and chilling with a couple other people.
But Cesar was not around the house the time Michael went missing.
As best as I know, yeah, that's true.
Interesting. So you never seen Michael. Have you ever hear Sarah or Stacey talk about the Vaughns or mention the Vaughns or say anything?
Never once. Not even. The only time I heard them ever mention the Vaughns is when they stopped the car that day and they said, "Hey, there's somebody that's missing in the neighborhood. His name's Michael Vaughan. Do you guys know him or know where he went?" That was the first time that came up to my attention. And then, as far as I know, they both said, no, we don't know where he's at. Let's go help look for him from that point.
Interesting. Yeah. Man, I'm so scatterbrained here because it's just a mystery. It's a mystery.
It is. That's all it is right now at this point. Yeah.
But you're assuring, like, if the Vaughns were watching right now, what would you say to Michael Vaughn's family?
I would say, don't lose hope. Keep your head up, keep your chin up, and know that he might still be out there somewhere because they never brought him into their house when I was there. Not once.
Not once yet they did. He's brought into the house. Horrible things happened to him. Taken to CUNA. Brandon knew who he was, saw him, was involved with the kidnapping and the murder of Michael Joseph Vaughan, and yet here he is sending a message out to the Vaughns, have hope. Just give me a break. Because he might still be out there somewhere, knowing damn well that Michael has passed. It's just sickening.
No little kids ever even came into that house, and I was there like a good majority of the time running a taxi business. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then says I was there the majority of the time running the taxi business, when in other times he wants you to believe that he was hardly there.
People that I knew that was there, they seemed like they were all right, decent people that weren't trying to do that. They were just trying to have normal everyday lives,
So what's your family think about what's going on? Did you tell them?
Yeah, I told them. The police and the detectives and everything, they've been at my mom's house since I've been gone, doing like siding in Montana and stuff, trying to pay bills, and they're beside themselves and just scared and freaking out. Don't know what's happening, what's going on.
So do you feel like the detectives think you're involved, or they just want to ask you more about the Wondras? What is the detectives' reasons of coming to you?
I think they want to find out more about like the Wondras and their lifestyle, of how they are and what they do. And I'm probably the best guy to ask because I was there around them the most at that time.
Did you feel detectives think you did something, or was it, were they hard on you and questioning? Were they making you feel like you're guilty of something?
Well, they were pretty stern, they wanted to get to the bottom of it, and they kind of interrogated me, and they were pretty rough and, aggressive with it. And I said, listen, guys, I didn't do it at all. And if they're saying that this happened and that they did it, they know more about it than I did, because when I was around them, they didn't act that way. So
yet he proceeds to tell law enforcement that he saw Sarah and Stacey with the duffel bag and they put it in the basement, that he owns a Marlboro duffel bag, and then asks if Detective Juanita Kelleher had found it yet, if detectives have found it yet. Brandon, where's Michael?
Oh, they're like, okay. And then from there, it's just been kind of like, they hit me hard, and I told them everything I know, and then it's been a stale fish, a standstill. And we're just trying to see like who all was even at that point in time in history.
So you're not nervous at all? Are you nervous about being arrested at all or anything?
Yeah, that definitely crosses my mind every day, and I know that if I go back to Idaho, I'll be arrested immediately.
Yes.
What?
Oh, he's worried that every day that he's going to be arrested. If you didn't do anything wrong, Brandon, why are you worried about being arrested? I was never worried about being arrested, ever. Why are you
about being arrested? Because he saw Sarah and Stacey do something, and he's worried that he's going to get tossed in the midst of it all? or worried because he knows he has involvement. I mean, we know that for a fact that Brandon Shurtliff was involved in all of this because they used Brandon Shurtliff's mom to take Michael to the night he's abducted to get him out of that neighborhood. Right. They cannot have Michael there at the house with them. That would have put them in prison immediately had they kept Michael at that house. They knew they had to take him somewhere else. And they went to Brandon's mom's house. Yep. Those are facts, and there's no denying. And the only person that could get them into his mom's house is Brandon Shurtliff. Yep. And according to Stacey, he was the one who took Michael in the house. So, time to talk, Brandon. Time to talk.
Where are the clothes that were in the duffel bag? Where are the clothes that he allegedly washed? Where are those clothes, Brandon? Are you wearing them?
Ugh.
And, you know, they're going to talk about me about my marijuana charges, probably do 20, 30 days in jail myself if I go back.
Which you did.
From there.
Yep.
So you have pending charges in Idaho?
Yeah, I have pending charges in Idaho just from probation and like possession of marijuana, and that's what I was in trouble with those guys for before.
I appreciate your honesty with that. Appreciate your honesty. Yeah. So you're not going to go back in there and try to settle it, or do you think they're going to extradite you, try to scoop you up there where you're at?
I think for now it's just a basis of I need to get back to work and get some money because I still owe them money on those charges.
Yeah.
So I kind of
work and make the money because he still owes money on those charges. Brandon Shurtliff, your mommy paid for your fine so that you could come back to Fruitland.
Yep.
She paid. You didn't go to work to pay anything. You went to work to buy more beer.
Yep.
I just came here trying to get to work because the other people I was working for, it was hard to get paid and pay all my bills on time. So I'm just trying to find a solution to make it peaceful for everyone and kind of find out what's going on here and get to the bottom of it. That's what's on my mind right now.
Did detectives ask you about any other names besides the Wondras? Did they say any names?
The biggest names that are coming up right now on this is Stacey, Sarah, Adrian, that
and you,
Garudo, yeah, Caesar, Garudo, and me, and I think that's it from that very day.
No mention of Starkeys.
The Starkeys, I know that they had previous charges from stuff, whatever they did in their life before. I don't even know, but yeah, they said that they went to their house and asked them. They asked Mr. Carson Starkey and his mother that was hanging out there, and they questioned Dorothy, his ex-wife, that she can't really hear that good. She has to write everything down on paper and what she heard.
When it just dawned on me either. Wow. So here you do have Dorothy Starkey, who is considered to be deaf. Okay. On my mother's side, her sister was deaf, and I know a lot about it anyway. What I'm trying to say is usually if you're blind, then what do you do? You depend on your hearing, your feeling, touching things and everything else. When you're deaf, you depend on your eyesight and also touching, feeling. And Dorothy Starkey is the one who says that she saw Michael Vaughan and riding that tricycle. So she depends on her eyesight. She pays attention to things, I guess is what I'm trying to say. With her eyesight, she pays attention to more than an average person would pay attention to.
She's more observant.
Exactly. And I don't know why him talking about Dorothy right there, just mentioning that she was deaf again or couldn't hear well, Yeah, that was another thing mentioned by the creator or whatever, was that oh god, that Dorothy and Starkey or Carson weren't together at this time or whatever. Didn't their divorce come later?
I don't remember when their divorce came in, but she was still living there. She's still living there. I mean, yes, they got divorced, but that doesn't change the fact that she still lived there.
Exactly.
4 suspects named by Ellie, Brandon Shurtliff, Adrian Lucian, Sarah Wondra, and Stacey Wondra. Brandon Shurtliff, where is Michael Joseph Vaughan? Come talk to us. Come talk to me. I want you. Hi, chocolate covered pickle.
And if you have a memory problem, it helps to write things down too.
I have things written down everywhere.
Yeah, being more observant is exactly what I was trying to say. So something that maybe none of us would see. You know, I think Dorothy is a good witness also, because the dog
I know that
also
everybody's
did
saying,
exactly
"Oh,
what
your
she said.
witness is an RSO." Well, yes, but she's still a witness, and they've been thoroughly investigated. So somebody knows I'm getting. Yeah, she's so big.
I know, and I'm gonna have to get off of here because I got my son coming over.
Okay.
In a little while, but we can come back and revisit this again.
Yep.
Thank you for joining, for being here. I know today's a long day, just like all the other days have been kind of long. We've got a lot of stuff to go over and things coming up. So I hope you get a chance to relax and enjoy your weekend coming up.
Oh, I got things to do, and I've been, going over things, and I need to start writing things down because I had a bunch of stuff I was going through last night. Because I am going over the lives that we did, especially so I can see everybody's comments, because so many people I have come by and I haven't been able to keep up because there's been so many people, which is amazing. The one person I'd really like to hear from, 2 people I'd like to really hear from, Brandon Shurtliff, Adrian Lucian. It's time to stop playing your games. It's time to tell me where Michael is. Tell the truth. Don't let Stacey pin all of this on you guys. That's what he's going to do. You watched how quickly he threw his wife under the bus, and he even said that he would. He said he'd throw her under the bus in a heartbeat.
And imagine if Stacey and Sarah are still passing messages between each other through Sarah's mom, like I'm pretty sure they are. When Sarah's arrested, will she start saying and agreeing with some of the things that Stacey's been seeing, and then they both combined together start throwing Adrian and Brandon under the bus? Who knows how it's going to go down?
Right.
But everybody has an opportunity to say exactly what they've done, what they saw. It's time.
Brandon, they were going to offer you a deal. Why'd you run? If you're innocent and you know nothing, or you didn't do anything, were you just an innocent bystander? I don't think so. You took my son to your mama's house.
Use your duffel bag.
Hi, Trouble T Mama. Thank you.
Lots of people come in. Mandy came in. She's been here for a while.
Brandon, you owe a conversation with Brandi. Is Stacey more of a man than you, Brandon? It does seem that way right now. It really does. Thank you, Mandy. Yes, I have lots of books. I should probably write things out a little more clearly, because sometimes I'll just jot something down real quick and I'll go back and I'll look at it and I'm like, what was I thinking? What was
I write something down, even if it's just a scribble, I know exactly what it means and I can go right back to it. Matter of fact, sometimes I don't even have to go back to it, because if I write it down, I usually remember it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I will get off of here then, and you have a wonderful evening with your son. I'm so happy.
You do too. Yeah, because he doesn't come over for dinner often. He works so hard, and my granddaughter's going to come over. We're going to watch a movie, so I'm really looking forward to it. And I got to get all the sourdough bread that my daughter made me last night, slice it all up, parchment paper in between it, and freeze it, and yeah, clean my house and do the stuff I need to do before they come. But
yeah, I'm going to go do some chores. Ew.
Yeah, loved having you here. Always love hearing your perspective on everything, hun. So, Mandy,
Sorry, I'm pretty
I
emotional.
will find out from my husband what our plans are for this weekend. And if I do not have anything, we can do that live this weekend if that's what you're wanting to do. Thank you, Under Your Scars, for being here. Meanwhile, Brandon is busy trying to hook up with girls online. We see you, Brandon. TikTok, Brando.
TikTok, Brandon.
Hooking up with girls. I thought he had a girlfriend. I wonder if they've already split up. Maybe she found out Brandon Shurtliff isn't such a great guy after all.
I'm going to make sure that their lives are as uncomfortable as possible. Anybody that comes in contact, that they need to know what kind of people that they're dealing with. So, anyways, I love you all.
Right.
Have a wonderful weekend. If I don't, well, I'll be seeing you guys soon.
Right.
Brandon Shurtliff. Where's Michael Joseph Vaughan? Bye, everybody.
Love you.
Love you.
Kelly says this is not an us versus them situation. Brandon and Adrian were not the one. Brandon and Adrian, we're not the ones who have a chance of going to prison for life. Make the right choice for yourself, for you. It's always great when Brandi comes in. I will let you know. We talked about going crabbing, then we stopped talking about going crabbing or going camping or doing something, and then the thunder and lightning and the rain came today, so I have no clue what we're doing. Trish is in the house. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you guys all for being here, for supporting me and Brandi, and supporting Michael, supporting the Vaughan family, and wanting to learn about Michael's case. And share, and hit the notification bell. I go live randomly all the time these days, it seems, and very spontaneous about that. And please share Michael's face, and go over and grab the link that I'm putting out right now to join, sub up to Brandi Neal Vaughan's YouTube, where she does Monkey Monday now, and other lives that she plans on doing over there. Yes, it was. There was a lot of information in that last live I just did. A lot of stuff being filed, a lot of questions, just, because just imagine, okay? I see people in here all the time asking questions, right? The Vaughan family still has questions. They have questions like, where is Michael Vaughan? Brandon, where is Michael? That is one of the questions that they are left with. And they have some of the same questions that you guys do. Where or why was Brandon and Sarah in Cuna that day? Why were they all at Applebee's? Why were they all in these locations? Was Michael really to be sold? Did Sarah take Michael, or was it Stacey, or was it Adrian and Brandon? There are still so many questions left unanswered because all 4 of these suspects are lying. All of them are deflecting away from the truth. And here we are going to trial, putting Stacey Wondra up on, in front of a jury to charge him with first-degree murder, second-degree kidnapping, and destruction of evidence. Will the judge find him guilty on all charges? Will his attorneys be able to get first-degree murder and the abduction and kidnapping off of those charges before trial even starts? There are so many questions, but the one question we have is, where's Michael? And the second question is, what happened? What happened to Michael Vaughan? We want to hear the truth from somebody else, and we want to hear the truth. Another question I'm sure the Vaughans ask themselves every day is why? Why Michael? Why even come up with a plan to kidnap a child and sell him if that was the actual plan? So many unanswered questions that the Vaughan family have every single day. And there may be somebody out there that can help the Vaughan family put some of these questions, they may be able to help the Vaughans get some answers. And that is when you need to pick up the phone, call the Fruitland Police Tip Line, 208-642-6006, or email findmichael@fruitland.org. If this was your son, your nephew, your grandson, your brother, you would want somebody to call in that tip, and that's what I'm asking you to do right now, is help the Vaughan family bring justice to Michael Joseph Vaughan, bring Monkey home. Please. Law enforcement will decide whether or not your tip is credible. You can remain anonymous. You can collect over $50,000. Most of all, you can be the Vaughn's hero. You can be Michael's hero. Please, please call in that tip. 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. Thank you guys all so much for coming in today. Been live a couple times today again, and I will be live again when there is more information to talk about, and we'll go on Mandy's channel either this weekend, or we'll be setting up another time to go live. So keep an eye out on that. Don't forget about Monkey Monday on Monday over on Brandi Vaughan's channel. I did put up that link. And thank you, JLR, giving him all of the credit for this live. And if you missed it earlier, I did a live and we talked about a lot of information, more court documents. And I promise you, it wasn't 5.5 hours of court documents. It was a shorter live. So go back, be part of the replay crew, and please give me a thumbs up here. Let's get this out in the algorithm. Let's let Brandon see the live, which is most important, Brandon, because all eyes on you right now. I'm hearing that you're like on social media trying to hit up with girls, huh? That's really interesting. That means a certain person that I know must know a lot about you, and I'm going to have to make some phone calls soon to find out what you're up to. And then maybe I'll do a live on that. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here and supporting Michael and the Vaughan family. You guys are amazing. I have the best chat ever. Thank you guys for joining today. See you next time.